So, whenever the topic of AI and jobs comes up, our minds almost always jump straight to layoffs, right? But what if that's not the whole story? What if the biggest change isn't about who's getting fired, but who's not getting hired in the first place? Okay, let's really get into this because the real impact of AI might be happening somewhere we're not even looking.
And that's a really important question to ask. You see all these headlines about job cuts, and it's easy to think, okay, that's it. That's the impact. But the data is starting to paint a much more subtle and honestly, maybe a more significant picture that's happening just under the surface. I mean, sure, we see numbers like the information services sector losing 11,000 jobs, and that's definitely a signal, but it's kind of blurry. A new study from the AI company Anthropic, though, gives us a much sharper picture. And that's because it's based on something really powerful, actual data on how people are using AI right now.
So, this gets us to what you could call an AI displacement map. The Anthropic study isn't just some theory about what AI might do someday. No, it shows us what it's already doing. And what it's revealing is this really clear divide, a real tale of two completely different economies.
Okay, check this out. The scale of AI's reach into these white-collar jobs is just huge. For computer programmers, a staggering 75% of their tasks can already be handled by AI. Customer service reps, that's 70%. And financial analysts are right behind them at about 60%. This isn't science fiction, you guys. This is today.
And here's where you can really see that tale of two economies play out. On one hand, you got the knowledge economy, programming, analysis, all that stuff, where AI is just diving right in. But on the other hand, you have the physical economy. Think construction, agriculture, transportation, jobs where you're physically doing something. In those sectors, AI's impact is basically zero right now. The tech just isn't there yet. And guess what? Investors are paying close attention to this split. There's this strategy that's really catching on called the halo trade. It stands for heavy assets, low obsolescence. Basically, money is moving out of those tech-heavy, AI-exposed stocks and into the physical economy. In fact, Goldman's Halo Fund has outperformed the tech-light stocks by 25 percentage points this year. That's a pretty clear bet on where the smart money thinks resilience is. Okay, so where's all this leading? Well, this is the heart of it. The biggest story here isn't about massive layoffs. The real impact is quieter, it's more hidden, and it's hitting one specific group of people really hard. First, let's talk about the good news. For people who are already in their careers, the senior folks in these fields, AI is amazing. It's a massive productivity booster. The data is super clear. They're getting more done, they're more efficient. For them, AI is like the world's best assistant. But, and this is a big but, here's the other side of that coin, negative 14%. What is that? That is the drop in hiring for 22 to 25-year-olds in those exact same jobs since ChatGPT was launched. Just let that sink in for a second. The senior people are more productive than ever, but the door is quietly being shut for the next generation trying to get in. And this quote just nails it. Companies aren't firing people, they're just not hiring the next ones. This is what we mean by a silent hiring squeeze. The unemployment numbers don't really move because there are no big firing sprees. Instead, companies are just using all that new AI productivity to grow without having to bring on new entry-level people. And this creates a really interesting economic puzzle, doesn't it? In the short term, it looks great. Higher productivity is awesome for the GDP. But looking down the road, we're building up a major problem for the future job market. And the tricky part is, it's a problem that our usual report cards, like the monthly payroll numbers, they don't even see it. Now, I know hearing all of that, especially if you're a young person about to start your career, it can sound, well, pretty discouraging. But listen, the message from basically every expert is not to panic. It's a call to action. It's all about what you can do right now. So what's the game plan? It's actually pretty straightforward. Number one, use these tools. Seriously, just open them up and start playing around. Number two, get to know them inside and out. Learn what they're good at, what they're bad at. And number three, use that knowledge to skill up. Become so good at using these tools that you become incredibly valuable. This right here is the absolute key takeaway. The challenge isn't the AI itself. It's about how you approach it. The goal is not to try and compete with these tools. The goal is to become the person who knows how to use them better than anyone else in the room. Don't fear them. Master them. Of course, what you do as an individual is one thing, but this whole shift is so big that it raises these huge, complicated questions for society as a whole. I mean, policymakers are really wrestling with this stuff. This isn't your typical economic downturn that you can just fix by changing interest rates. This is a deep structural change. So, what do you do? How do you even slow it down if you wanted to? And how do you handle the public mood as these changes get faster and faster? There are just no easy answers.
There's this big debate going on. Some people say, hey, we've seen this movie before, right? With the Industrial Revolution, with the internet, we always adapt. But a lot of other smart people are saying, I don't know, this time feels different. The speed of AI is just off the charts, and there's a real risk of this painful gap period where a lot of people are left behind before we can all catch up.
And really, that leaves us with the biggest question of all. We are literally watching the definition of work get rewritten in real time. The challenge for us isn't just about how we adapt as individuals, it's about how we, as a society, are going to build a bridge to this new world for the generation that's stepping into it right now.